Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Imagine you're looking at this really complex recipe on your phone's browser.
Right. Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, and instead of copying and pasting everything, like we always do, you literally just say out loud, buy these ingredients and text my family that dinner is at 6.
And your phone just does it.
It just does it. It navigates the grocery app, it buys the items, opens your messages, and sends the text. I mean, today, that level of automation is no longer science fiction.
Not at all.
We are tracking the massive, inescapable ripple effects of artificial intelligence today. We're going to trace how this tech is, well, completely rewiring the phone in your pocket right now, and how it's sparking these urgent demands for global regulation, and finally, how it is aggressively cannibalizing the finances of corporate America.
It's going to be a packed show.
It really is. So welcome to Connecting the Dots, broadcasting live from the Snarful Solutions Group in sunny Sacramento, California. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Morgan. It is so great to be here today.
We are so glad you were joining us. It is Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. And before we get to the main stories, let's take a quick look at what's happening outside your window and, in your portfolios.
Always a good idea.
Right. So if you're here in Sacramento with us, please stay hydrated. We are looking at a sunny, blazing 100-degree day.
Ouch.
Yeah, with a light breeze of about 3 to 10 miles per hour. But nationally, things are a bit more turbulent.
What are the numbers looking like?
There are currently 336 active weather alerts, and 199 of those are overland. So please take a moment to check weather.gov for the specifics in your local area.
Good call. And on the financial front, the traditional markets took a bit of a breather to start the week.
Right, Monday was a little slow.
Exactly. The Dow Jones closed Monday down 0.34%, landing at 52,498.64. And the S&P 500 followed suit, closing down 0.43% to 7,515.34.
But, I mean, if you're watching crypto, you're having a much better Tuesday morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Bitcoin opened incredibly strong today and just closed up 2.81%, sitting pretty at $64,009.93.
Not a bad way to start a Tuesday.
Not at all. And speaking of starting the day right, before we jump into our tech report, we have a quick word from our partners. Today's episode is brought to you by Strong Coffee, the premium instant coffee that tastes like a traditional brew, but is packed with 15 grams of protein, MCTs, and adaptogens like ashwagandha. Get clean, sustained energy without the jitters. Use promo code SNARFUL for 20% off at strongcoffeecompany.com.
I highly recommend it for a busy morning like this one.
Definitely. All right, let's unpack this. Our Morningstar Tech article report is taking us from the micro to the macro today.
Yeah, starting right in our pockets.
Exactly. There's literally no better place to start than the device you probably have sitting right next to you right now. Apple has officially released the first public betas for iOS 27, iPadOS 27, watchOS 27, tvOS 27, and macOS 27 Golden Gate.
That is a massive rollout.
Huge. And the absolute headliner here is the complete overhaul of Siri. It's now officially dubbed Siri AI.
And, I mean, this is a profound shift in consumer technology. We're finally seeing the public rollout of what Apple teased to developers at WWDC back in June.
And frankly, it is about time, right?
Oh, for sure.
For years, the old Siri has felt like, well, a glorified egg timer.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
You'd ask it to set a timer for pasta or check the weather, and that was roughly the ceiling of its capability. You ask a complex question, and it just hands you a list of web search results. Like, thanks for nothing.
Here's a web page I found.
Exactly. But looking beyond all the tech hype here, how does this new Siri AI actually work under the hood? Like, how does that change the daily routine for working professionals or families just trying to manage their daily chaos?
So to understand the shift, we really have to look at the underlying mechanism. The old Siri operated on basic keyword matching.
Okay.
It listened for specific nouns and verbs like, timer and 10 minutes, and it triggered a pre-written script. Siri AI abandons that entirely.
Wow, just throwing it out.
Yeah, it's built on a large language model now. It doesn't just listen for keywords. It mathematically interprets the semantic meaning of your entire sentence. And more importantly, it actually understands conversational context.
Okay, let's make that concrete for the listener. Say I'm planning a quick family getaway. I could theoretically look at an Airbnb listing on my screen and just tell Siri AI, Find those photos of the cabin we rented last summer.
Yes, that is the perfect scenario. When you do that, the AI digs into your Photos app, completely understanding the relational context of cabin and last summer.
Right.
It isolates the right images. But here is where the magic really happens. Without missing a beat, you can just follow up and say, text these to Sarah and ask if we should book this new place instead. Oh, and find a highly rated pancake spot near there.
Wait, so it's actively reading the Airbnb listing that is open on my screen to know where there actually is?
That is the crucial upgrade, yes. The operating system actively maps the visual elements on your screen into data tokens that the AI can process.
That's wild.
Right. So it knows the exact address you're looking at in Safari. It orchestrates the photo selection, opens messages, drafts the text to the correct contact.
It just does all of it.
And simultaneously runs a geographic search for breakfast places near that specific on-screen address.
It's essentially acting as a digital concierge at this point. You don't even have to perfectly phrase your command anymore.
Exactly.
But I do have to ask about privacy. Because if this thing is mapping literally everything on my screen, logging all my requests, and just organizing my life, where does all that highly sensitive data actually go?
Yeah, that's the big question. So Apple is tackling the data retention issue right up front in the settings. They've actually introduced a dedicated chatbot-style app for Siri AI.
Oh, like a separate app entirely.
Well, it acts as an interaction log, so you can pick up past threads, but you have total control over that log. You can set it to keep your conversation history forever, for 1 year, or you can have it wipe everything automatically after 30 days.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, I know you listening right now might be looking at your 2-year-old phone, wondering if you are going to get all these fancy features. There are some major hardware roadblocks here, correct?
Yeah, several. First off, even if you download the iOS 27 beta today, you have to join a waitlist in the settings just to activate Siri AI.
They're trying to manage the traffic.
Exactly. They are severely throttling the server load. Second, you must have an Apple Intelligence-capable device. Older iPhones simply lack the neural processing power.
Let's define that really quickly. We're talking about the NPU, the neural processing unit.
Correct.
So this isn't about how much storage your phone has. It's about a specific physical chip designed solely to handle massive AI math equations instantly, right on the device.
You've got it. Without that specific silicon, the phone just can't run these language models locally. And sending everything to the cloud is way too slow, and obviously it compromises privacy.
Makes sense.
And beyond the hardware, there are geographical and language limits, too. It is strictly English only right now.
Wow.
Yeah, and due to complex digital markets regulations, Siri AI will actually not be available in the European Union initially.
It's fascinating how geography and physical hardware are limiting access to this supposedly borderless software.
It really is.
But Siri isn't the only thing getting the AI treatment in iOS 27, is it? The camera and photo capabilities seem like they're entering completely uncharted territory.
Oh, the Photos app is practically a professional editing suite now, totally fueled by generative AI. Like, they've introduced a feature called spatial reframing.
Okay, let me guess how this works. If I take a slightly off-center photo of my dog, right, the AI looks at the pixels at the edge of the frame, uses its training data to guess what the rest of the carpet and the couch look like, and literally just paints new pixels to recenter the image.
That is the exact mechanism, yeah.
That's crazy.
It uses diffusion models to predict and generate the missing reality based on millions of learned patterns. And there's also an extend feature that outcrops images far past their original physical boundaries. Yeah, and the cleanup tool is vastly more robust at identifying and removing photo bombers in the background without leaving those weird digital smudges we're used to.
Oh, I hate those smudges.
Right. Plus, the Image Playground app can now generate incredibly high-quality photorealistic images from scratch based purely on text prompts.
So we are officially in an era where the photo you snap is really just a rough draft.
Basically, yes.
The AI just helps you mold it into the reality you intended to capture. I mean, it's an incredible tool for the individual.
It is.
But, as these systems scale up, the implications get vastly more complex. Let's look closer at what happens when AI moves beyond our everyday pockets and edges into something entirely unprecedented.
This is where it gets heavy.
It does. Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis is sounding a massive alarm right now regarding artificial general intelligence, or AGI. He's warning that humanity has a precious window to ensure this technology is safe. And he's stating that AGI is probably only a few short years away.
Which is just wild to hear from someone in his position, because AGI is essentially the holy grail of the tech sector. We aren't talking about a chatbot that can plan a vacation anymore.
Well,
AGI refers to a system that possesses all the cognitive capabilities of the human brain. It would be able to learn, reason, and execute literally any intellectual task a human can, but at the speed of a supercomputer.
and when the CEO of one of the top AI labs on Earth says something that powerful is a few years away, it absolutely demands attention.
Definitely.
But I do have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Of course.
We've seen tech leaders ring the alarm bell before, mostly to protect their own interests. Is there a chance Hassabis is just trying to build a massive regulatory moat here? Like, the hardware costs to train these models are astronomical. By calling for heavy regulation, isn't he just making it impossible for scrappy startups to ever compete with Google?
You know, it's a highly debated point in Silicon Valley right now. The cost of compute is indeed a natural barrier to entry. But Hassabis's core argument is that the societal risks of an uncontrollable, unaligned AGI far outweigh any market competition concerns.
Right, the existential threat.
Exactly. And to manage this, he's actually proposing a framework modeled directly after Wall Street's FINRA.
Okay, let's break that down for everyone.
Yeah.
FINRA is the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. It's a private, self-regulatory organization. So think of FINRA like a building inspector for Wall Street. They check the structural integrity of financial products to prevent, well, total collapses. So Hassabis wants a building inspector for computer code.
That's a great way to visualize it. He's calling for a U.S.-led, industry-funded, private nonprofit standards body.
Okay.
See, Wall Street utilizes FINRA because financial markets move infinitely faster than traditional government legislation can be drafted and passed. And Hassabis argues that frontier-class AI needs that exact same agility.
Because it's moving too fast for Congress.
Exactly. Under his proposal, this body would require all AI labs to hand over their most advanced models for a rigorous safety review, up to 30 days before they are ever released to the public.
A 30-day mandatory pause. I mean, that feels like an eternity in the tech world.
It really does.
But it would give independent experts time to red team the model, actively trying to break it or find dangerous behaviors before millions of people get access to it. But why propose this right now? The timing feels very deliberate.
Oh, the timing is everything. We really have to view this through the current political and regulatory lens. Hassabis is floating the standards body concept right on the heels of the Trump administration's recent interventions.
Right.
Which, as we know, actively limited the release of certain advanced AI models by major players like OpenAI and Anthropic.
Yeah, the administration has certainly taken a very hands-on approach recently regarding what software can and cannot be deployed in the public sphere.
Objectively speaking, that government pressure changes the calculus for these tech companies entirely. Hassabis proposing an industry-funded private standards body really appears to be a strategic response to that.
Getting ahead of it.
Exactly. The message is essentially, let the industry's top minds build a rigorous, adaptable framework before heavy-handed government mandates step in, which might inadvertently stifle American innovation or compromise national security.
And he was very clear that this standards body can't just be a room full of software engineers checking code, right?
No, not at all. He explicitly stated that resolving the questions brought on by AGI requires philosophers, economists, and sociologists.
Wow.
When you build a machine that could potentially automate a massive percentage of human cognitive labor, you are moving far beyond a simple math problem. You are fundamentally altering the human condition.
It's so true.
Right. If a machine can do our jobs better, how do we distribute wealth? What gives a human life purpose? Hassabis says we have a fleeting, precious window to figure that out before the technology makes the decision for us.
It is a staggering thought. We are sprinting toward this concept of AGI, dreaming of a future with limitless intelligence. But building that future requires cold, hard, physical resources today.
And a lot of them.
Which perfectly transitions us to our third story. Because we hear endless talk about the AI boom and the massive cash flowing into tech. Yet, legacy tech giant IBM just got hit with a brutal reality check. Their shares plummeted over 20%, hitting 23% in pre-market trading after a massive Q2 earnings miss.
The numbers were a major shock to Wall Street, honestly. IBM's preliminary revenue came in at $17.2 billion, which fell well below the $17.86 billion estimate.
Ouch.
Yeah. And their adjusted EPS, that's earnings per share, a key metric of profitability, sat at $2.93, missing the $3.01 target.
It really looks like IBM brought software to a hardware fight. If the entire tech sector is supposedly booming because of AI, What is the disconnect here? Like, why is a company as established as IBM faltering so visibly?
Well, IBM CEO Arvind Krishna released a letter to investors that laid out the stark reality of the enterprise tech landscape. He explained that in the final weeks of June, IBM's corporate clients completely upended their capital expenditure budgets.
Just totally changed course.
Yeah, they abruptly abandoned large traditional software deals.
Because they stopped buying software to hoard physical hardware instead.
Completely hoarding it. We're talking about massive investments in server racks, huge storage solutions, and critically high bandwidth memory chips.
Okay, let's explain why memory chips are the specific bottleneck here. People usually think of the processors doing all the work.
Right.
But AI models, whether it's the new Siri AI or the AGI that Hassabis is chasing, they require moving astronomically large data sets back and forth instantly. If the memory can't feed the data to the processor fast enough, the whole system just chokes.
And that is the physical limit of AI right now. Corporate IT departments are looking at the global supply chain, they're seeing massive constraints on these specific chips, and they're realizing a harsh truth.
Which is?
If they don't secure their AI physical infrastructure today, they will be hit with exorbitant price hikes tomorrow. Krishna admitted that IBM simply failed to adapt fast enough to this violent shift in customer spending, and their software deals basically evaporated as a result.
So the theoretical AI boom is actively cannibalizing the traditional software market because the physical infrastructure just can't keep pace.
Precisely.
But zooming out, this isn't just a tech problem, is it? This hardware panic is being amplified by the broader macroeconomic reality. Corporate budgets are being squeezed tight everywhere.
Oh, you cannot separate technology spending from macroeconomics or geopolitics. Look at the broader markets we mentioned earlier. The Dow is dropping. But more importantly, energy costs are spiking significantly right now.
Right.
Brent crude oil climbed 3.5% this morning to $86.26 a barrel, with WTI West Texas Intermediate, the U.S. oil benchmark, pushing near $80.
And that energy spike isn't just a random market fluctuation. It is directly tied to a major geopolitical escalation.
It is. Following intensifying global clashes, President Trump announced the reinstatement of a blockade on Iranian ports. Furthermore, the administration declared that the United States will now act as, quote, the guardian of the Hormuz Strait.
For context, the Strait of Hormuz is arguably the most critical maritime choke point in the world. A massive percentage of the globe's oil and commercial cargo transits through that specific waterway.
Right. And as part of this new Guardian declaration, the administration stated that for the U.S. to provide safety and security in that highly volatile region, a 20% reimbursement rate will be charged on all cargo shipped through the strait.
A 20% fee.
Yes, to cover the military's operational costs.
So let's connect all these dots for you, the listener. If you are a global hardware manufacturer in Asia, the cost of moving the raw materials, the memory chips, and the final server racks just skyrocketed.
Yep.
Your shipping routes are now facing a 20% security premium, and the oil required to fuel those massive cargo ships is getting more expensive by the hour.
That is the exact reality unfolding. The supply chain squeeze is no longer just a theoretical bottleneck. It is a rapidly escalating financial burden. So picture a chief information officer at a major corporation. They look at their budget and they see that physical server prices are about to explode due to these shipping tariffs and oil spikes.
Right.
They have a fiduciary duty to buy those servers immediately before prices double. And to find the cash to do that, they cancel their traditional software contract with IBM.
It is truly incredible how a naval blockade halfway across the world instantly dictates whether an American software giant hits its quarterly earnings.
It's all connected.
Everything ripples outward. Well, before we wrap up today's journey from Apple's operating systems to global supply chains, a quick thanks to our final sponsor. Old Glory is an iconic music and sports fan merch store, perfect for the techie in your life. Use promo code SNARFL for 15% off at oldglory.com.
So, bringing all of this into focus today, we are watching a total artificial intelligence paradigm shift unfold in real time.
We really are.
We see it on the micro level, upgrading our daily tools and fundamentally changing how we interact with our phones through localized language models like Siri AI and generative photo editing.
Our pockets are getting vastly smarter, and they are doing it by fundamentally changing how code interacts with the context of our daily lives.
But as that intelligence scales upward toward the holy grail of AGI, it is prompting industry leaders like Demis Hassabis to advocate for a global Fenin-Aure-style oversight body.
Right.
The goal is to manage the profound societal risks before that precious window closes, balancing innovation with existential safety.
Absolutely.
And finally, the sheer ambition of this technological leap is colliding head-on with hard physical reality. It is causing a massive corporate cash crunch at legacy companies like IBM as the entire world scrambles to hoard the hardware and memory chips required to keep the AI dream alive amidst tightening global supply chains.
It is a phenomenal collision between infinite digital ambition and very finite physical resources. Which leaves you with this final thought to chew on today. As these advanced AI models demand an exponentially growing supply of servers and high-bandwidth memory chips, and as geopolitical tensions squeeze global shipping routes and drive up the cost of oil, how long before the physical resource limits of our actual world begin to dictate the speed of artificial intelligence? We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.